Skinny Hardaway 17 back with another EP. Y'all do your boy solid. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. We talk this good boxing, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. Today we here with a bit of some breaking news. Earlier I came on and I told y'all that Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu, their fight had been canceled due to Keith Thurman's arm injury. He tore his bicep. If I'm not mistaken, it was a bicep, tricep, something like that. I think it was a bicep, right? But for sure, Keith Thurman did have to pull out the fight. And I spoke about, it being a good time maybe for Bud Crawford, you know what I mean, to go up to the 154-pound division and maybe, putting it mandatory to use a little early. I thought it'd be a good time because, Tim Tszyu did not have an opponent. Well, PBC, they hopped on that extremely quick. It looks like PBC, will be keeping their date for Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu. So the fight did not have to be canceled. They will still continue. The fight will still continue May 30th. And the fight actually did get better, right? It's not Terrence Bud Crawford, right? But Sebastain Fundora will be the step-in opponent for Keith Thurman March 30th. So we got Tim Tszyu versus Sebastain Fundora. If you recall correctly, Sebastain Fundora, is coming off that knockout loss to Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza has since then lost to Tim Tszyu. So effectively, right, Sebastain Fundora is I almost called him Sebastian Telfair. Effectively, Sebastain Fundora, right, is getting a title shot coming off a loss, right? And I really, have no problem with it, right? It's a replacement fight. When stuff like this happens, you have to scramble. You have to find the best. Is in the scrub by any, stretch of the imagination. One loss doesn't end your career. I think this is a great fight for Tim Tszyu. I think this is a great fight for Sebastain Fundora. I think this is a great fight for boxing. I think we are the ones who win, in the end because some people, like I was saying earlier, my early video, some people didn't agree with the Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu. You was a little indifferent about it. Some people complained about it being pay-per-view and whatnot. So let's see all those same people who complained about Keith Thurman, Tim Tszyu being a pay-per-view. Let's see if those same people, still complain about Sebastain Fundora and Tim Tszyu being, a pay-per-view. Because I very well do believe that now Keith Thurman's name is bigger, right, than either two of these guys. You can still Keith Thurman's name, right, but the actual fight didn't make a whole lot of sense, to a lot of people. But this fight, it makes sense. This is a pay-per-view fight, and this fight is officially for Tim Tszyu's 154-pound championship now because Fundora does fight at the 154-pound division, and he is a top-ranked 154-pound fighter. You know what I mean? So this fight was good, BC. So this fight will officially be for Tim Tszyu's championship title fight. Now I was watching, Tim Tszyu's and Keith Thurman. Ironically, right, this morning I was watching Tim Tszyu's and Keith Thurman's, all access basically, right? And Tim Tszyu said he had been fighting guys over there in Australia, right? Now he finally wants to come over here and make a name for himself and fight, somebody in the big pub. He said he wants to come in here and fight. A lot of these guys, they be taking long layoffs because they pussy and whatnot. So now we get a chance to see, Tim Tszyu actually standing on them words. I said Tim Tszyu was talking big. He called, people who take time off and don't want to fight the best pussy. So now we got the Fundora versus Tim Tszyu fight. This fight is going to be a banger, right? I think this is a much better fight than Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu. So it's kind of like, man, we get a plus, right? It's kind of like the prayers of everybody have been answered, right? The people who didn't want to see Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu, you kind of got your prayers answered, right? And I'm a little more excited about this fight, right? Because while Keith Thurman, right? Keith Thurman is no longer in his prime, right? A guy like Sebastain Fundora, a guy like Tim Tszyu, they're around the same as far as their prime, their age, right? I think this fight is gonna be a banger. My guy BC said Fundora going to eat another dirt sandwich. Yes, sir, man. We got Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. And I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long, man. I just want to drop this tad bit on y'all. This is real spill, not a drill, right? I dropped a video earlier letting y'all know that Keith Thurman had to pull out. And I was like, man, this would be a good time for Bud Crawford to step in, right? Well, PBC must have already had a backup plan, right? Because Sebastain Fundora is already locked up. Tszyu versus Sebastain Fundora. You know what I mean? Real spill, not a drill, take it to the bank. I think that pay-per-view just got a look better. What's good, BC? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, BC. Glad you could make it pimping. My guy, Jay Gibson. What's good, Jay Gibb? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, mate. Tszyu versus Sebastain Fundora. It's officially, you know what I mean, officially real spill, not a drill. You don't see no question marks in there, right? You don't see no question marks in the title, right? Breaking news. Fundora replaces Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman tore his bicep, if I'm not mistaken, right? And the only reason I'm not going to, continue to talk to y'all because I got to make these bets. I'm studying everything, right? But I had to come and drop this tad bit on y'all. 100% agree, man. BC, it's a much better fight. But that's all I got for y'all. Skin the Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If y'all in here, y'all subscribe to the channel, right? Because we break the news. We we have these good bets. Every big event we pretty much watch together, right? We be here. Boxing, MMA, all that good shit. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through this thing. And we out these be out.